We have some major breaking news. It has been officially confirmed that Hendrick Motorsports will return to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025, and they have announced their schedule for the Xfinity program. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to the video. As I just said in a second, we got some pretty massive and major breaking news, as it has been officially announced and confirmed that Hendrick Motorsports, in fact, will return to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025. Hendrick Motorsports is going to run 16 races this year. Here's the press release from HendrickCars.com today. HendrickCars.com is proud to return as primary sponsor of the number 17 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. This year's 16-race slate will feature all four Hendrick Motorsports Cup Series drivers along with newcomer Cory Day. The effort will be led by crew chief Adam Wall, who of course is the crew chief last year for Sammy Smith near the end of 2024. Basically, majority of those races will be run by Cory Day, who will run 10 races in that car in 2025. Chase Elliott has only got one race scheduled for the year. William Byron has 2 races scheduled. Alex Bowman has 1, and Kyle Larson has 2 races scheduled for 2025. So here's a schedule for all 16 races that all 5 drivers will run this year. Beginning at Circuit of the Americas next week, William Byron will drive the number 17 at COTA. After that, at Phoenix on March 8th, Alex Bowman will drive the car there. After that, on March 22nd, Kyle Larson will run the 17 car at Homestead Miami Speedway. Then after that, at Martinsville on March 29th, Cory Day will make his NASCAR Xfinity Series debut at Martinsville, which we expected. Then after that, on April the 5th, we'll see that car at Darlington Raceway with Chase Elliott driving the car. After that, on April 12th, Kyle Larson will get back behind the wheel and drive that car at Bristol Motor Speedway on the 12th of April. After that, on May 3rd, after a couple-week break, we'll see that car back at Texas Motor Speedway with Cory Day driving. The next race scheduled for them will be on May 24th at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and William Byron will be the driver of the car. And then after that, the remainder of the races Cory Day is going to drive. So then their next race will be on May 31st at National Super Speedway. Then they're going to run at Sonoma Raceway on July 12th with Cory Day behind the wheel there at a road course. Then on August 2nd, we'll see them run at Iowa Speedway. Then September 12th at Bristol. Then on October 4th at the Charlotte Roval. Then October 11th at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. October 25th at Martinsville Speedway once again, and their final race will be at Phoenix Raceway on November 1st. Like I mentioned and said, we're going to see Cory Day run a majority of races in that car this year. He'll run 10 of the 16 races scheduled, and I think this car will be super fast and competitive. We have been expecting that this car was going to come back and run this year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and we already knew that Cory Day was going to be running most of his races in NASCAR this year in the Xfinity Series. He does have 8 races scheduled in the Truck Series this year in the number 77 car this year. And then, of course, we will see Cory Day make 3 more ARCA starts. He did run the opener at Daytona, was actually running up front in the lead pack before that big wreck happened coming to the halfway point of the race. But I think that this car will be super fast and very, very competitive. Now, what are my expectations for the 17 HendrickMotorsports.com car this year? Well, I do think this car will win at least a few races in 2025. You've got some really good tracks for some of these guys, starting off with the Darlington race for Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott last year did pick up a victory at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and he was super fast and very, very competitive in that car in the few races that he did run. I would think Chase Elliott will definitely be a favorite at Darlington. Chase Elliott's always been really, really good there, so I think he's got a good opportunity to win. And then you think about Kyle Larson. He's going to run 2 races, that being at Bristol. Bristol's a really good track for Kyle. Actually, Larson's got Darlington scheduled, I think those 2 tracks, Larson could definitely easily go to victory lane and pick up wins. Larson did win a course at Circuit of the Americas and nearly won the Chicago Street Course race last year. So I do think that Larson will win at least 1 or 2 of those races by the end of the year. And then you think about the rest of the schedule this year, right? You think about the fact that Cory Day is going to get a ton of development time behind the wheel of that car. I would not be shocked or surprised if the pace and speed is there, that if we see that car go to victory lane even with Cory Day. Cory Day is getting a lot of development time, which is huge, but I think he's going to be really, really competitive. That 17 car last year was really strong and really, really fast, and I think that Cory Day overall is a very incredibly, very talented race car driver. I think it is going to be a very strong year for Cory in Xfinity. I don't know if he'll win a lot. I think he might get 1 win before the end of the year, but I realistically see that car car, getting a lot of top 10s and maybe even a lot of top 15s as well. I don't expect Cory Day to always be up there leading laps at the end of the races, but I do think he'll be very strong and competitive. But I think for Cory Day, this transition over to stock cars is really, really huge. And let's say Cory Day does really well this year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I could see Cory Day going out there and being a full-time driver in Xfinity competition next year, which I think might be the ultimate plan for that car as it is. I am a little surprised to see that Raj Kruf does not have a race schedule in the Xfinity Series for them this year. I would have thought, considering his association with HendrickCars.com, I would have thought that Raj Kruf would have gotten a chance and opportunity to get behind the wheel, but I think what Hendrick is doing, they're trying to get him a little more developed. They probably feel like he's not fully ready yet to move up to Xfinity Series in any way, shape, or form, so they're probably giving a little more time to get experience with Spire Motorsports, or maybe, just maybe, he's going to go to the Spire camp, considering, of course, Spire and Hendrick are expected to get a much tighter alliance this year. I could see that definitely really playing a role there. But as for this number 17 car, yeah, they're going to run majority of races this year. I think last year they only ran around 11 or 12 races, so they've upped their schedule, which tells me, like I've already said a second ago, that they're going to be fully focused on trying to win quite a few races. But that COTA race in a few weeks, that race is going to be really, really fun. You've got, of course, Ross Chastain driving in that race with Junior Motorsports. I look at Sonoma to be a banger race. Cory Day probably won't be going up and beating guys like Shane Van Gisbergen and Sheldon Creed, those guys on the road courses. But I think with the Trans Am experience he's going to get this year, I really think that Cory Day will be very, very strong. But he's going to have a lot of competition that he's going to be going up against in the Xfinity Series this year. Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, Connor Zilch, who's going to be a major threat to win a lot of road course races, who also make his NASCAR Cup debut next week. You've obviously got other big-name drivers running in the series this year, like Austin Hill, Jesse Love, who just won at Daytona this past week. You've got a lot of really strong competition in NASCAR Xfinity Series. Harrison Burr with AM Racing this year, who had a decent run at Daytona this past week. You've got other big names like Christian Eckes and Nick Sanchez, maybe even Kyle Busch this year, making some starts in that third RCR Xfinity Series car. I think he will definitely be very fast and really strong and really competitive there. And I also think you got to look at Nick Sanchez, who's also going to be strong. We are expecting also a second Big Machine racing car at some point this year. In general, I really like where the Hendrick Motorsports program is going, and I think they've got a really strong Xfinity program going into this year, and I think it's going to be really fun to see what this team can do in 2025 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I do expect that they're going to be fast and really strong definitely later this year. We'll see how they can do in 2025, but I think they will win some races. I expect some victories for the program, and I think it'll be a great year for Hendrick Motorsports this year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So, that is going to be today's special breaking news report on Hendrick Motorsports returning to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. How do you think Hendrick Motorsports is going to do this year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series? Do you think they're going to win quite a few races or not? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Later today on the channel, we're going to have race picks for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Tomorrow, we're going to have the Cup race picks for Atlanta. We're also going to have the paint scheme video as well. Then, of course, on Friday, we'll have multiple NASCAR news videos dropping on the channel. We're going to have content coming out of people like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, Connor Zillich, Carson Quaffle, Nick Sanchez, Christian Eckes, Cletus McFarland, Matt DiBenedetto, maybe Donald Trump, all that good stuff will be coming out on the channel in the not-so-distant future. We've got race reviews coming out and a lot of great content dropping this week that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.